Hello, beloved listeners, and welcome to Snake People at the Movies, film criticism by people who actually like film. Join us as we dive into movies we love, movies we respect, and movies we wish we could unsee. From the kids who would have let vampire Colin Farrell drink their blood, it's Sneople at the Movies. I'm Ezra.
I'm Maddie.
And I'm
Happy
Helena.
Halloween, everybody!
Happy Halloween!
Happy Halloween! Sorry for skipping out on y'all again, but in our defense, multiple
Life
things.
comes at you fast.
It's truly
It's been quite a year in many kinds of ways. So, but for those of you who didn't know, we did have a special Sneeple episode go up on the Patreon. So there is some Sneeple content still. It's just,
It's very funny. You should go listen to it immediately.
Yes, agreed.
I couldn't be there.
But now...
That's okay, it just means we're gonna have to do it again when Helen is here, so once you
no.
go subscribe to the Patreon, listen to it so you can find out what the format is, you can look forward to us doing this again with Helena next time.
Yeah, because it is one of my favorite games to do. It is always funny.
Such a good time.
And the other good news is that this is coming out early this week on actual Halloween to celebrate the holiday, so
Yay.
Yeah. Everything works out.
If for whatever reason you're just vibing on Halloween by yourself because it's a fucking Tuesday night and capitalism marches on, you can spend Halloween with us instead.
Yeah. I will, in fact, be working on Halloween, which is just the pits, but I'm gonna...
That reeks, I'm so sorry. Also, if you're listening to this after Halloween lasts until my birthday on November 7th, that's just the rule.
It's true.
Yep. So, you get an extra week or so.
Mm-hmm. Gratis.
My goodness.
Do we want to... Sorry, go ahead.
No, please.
I was going to ask if we wanted to jump into what we Sneep, so if you have other things to announce.
Oh, I was going to say that this episode is about to give you a recommendation for if you're sticking around on Halloween.
Also
a
true.
Feature you can do.
Yes!
Yeah, we're going to be doing another Remake Rumble, but before we do that, what we Sneep.
Yeah. Who wants to start?
I will get mine out of the way first because it's very short. My whole what we Sneep is, I have no fucking idea. I think I watched some Gravity Falls. I started a new position at my job and also decided to make the fucking Howl coat from Howl's Moving Castle myself for Halloween because I'm a crazy person. And, if I did anything else in the last, 2.5 weeks, it has fallen directly out of my brain.
Very fair.
Voila.
Part of me wants to look on your letterbox and see if you marked anything down.
I think I forgot to. I think the only thing I can remember watching is the fucking one of the movies for tonight. So
well, that's good.
I'm
so
also
there we go.
bad at letterboxd. Ugh, I want to go to bed.
Okay, well, I will go next then. I've been kind of slacking on movies. I have a list of things I wanted to watch for Halloween, and then just life gets in the way, as they say. But what I have seen is I saw Stop Making Sense in theaters.
Yeah.
First time I've seen it, and so we're seeing it in theaters. So glad I went, and my god, very good time.
So good.
I finished Haunting of Bly Manor, which I liked and thought was good, but I don't know, I'd rather watch Midnight Mass again than go back to Bly Manor soon.
God, it's so true.
Yeah. I have more thoughts there, I think, but that's a different episode. I watched Final Destination, the first one. I understand the jokes now. What a movie. I watched Trick or Treat from 2007. Very fun. Rewatched Over the Garden Wall for the season. My best friend, my beloved. I rewatched the original Silent Hill movie for reasons I cannot explain, and had the many complicated feelings I have every time I watch that movie. I also am now mostly caught up on the Saw series because I watched Jigsaw and Spiral, parentheses from the Book of Saw, which is such a stupid fucking title.
The book of Saw?
The Book of Saw.
It's a book now?
Spiral, from the Book of Saw.
But the canon of Saw. The lore of Saw. Yeah. That's what it, yeah. Not a literal book, I'm assuming.
and it made me laugh out loud twice in a way that they did not anticipate. The dramatic twist made me literally like howl with laughter. As well as the like final shot right before it cut to credits. Like the cut to credits made me shriek with laughter, which I think is not what they were going for. So
perhaps
for
not,
those of you,
but,
thinking like, should I watch Spiral? You don't need to. It's real.
No. I told you. And I was only communicating what I heard from another guy, and you did it anyway, Matthew.
Well, I was like, I gotta see them all. So now I just need to see the new one.
Pokemon.
I need to see Saw 10. Yeah. Which I've heard is actually pretty alright. So we'll see.
I hate the phrase Saw 10 so much. Like, I cannot even express how much I hate the phrase Saw 10. Not a single one of them a musical Saw.
No, not yet.
I meant that in terms of playing the musical Saw, but
oh
yeah.
I'll see myself out.
I rewatched Jeepers Creepers, which is always a fun movie and features your friend and mine, Justin Long, which I forget every time until I start watching it. Then I'm like, oh shit!
There he is.
I rewatched Tremors, maybe my favorite Kevin Bacon movie.
Fuck yeah.
It's A Quiet Place for yeehaw-ass motherfuckers. I rewatched Attack of the Clones for no reason.
Absolutely.
Do you need a reason? I don't think
No, I don't think so, but it is odd that I just woke up and was like, what if I watched Attack of the Clones?
That is funny, to be fair.
And then I watched this double feature, Fright Night 1985 and Fright Night 2011, which is our remake rumble for this episode, which I'm very excited to get into. And then briefly, I played a lot of horror games instead of watching more movies, so I'll do a quick, like, these are the games I've played. Replayed Oxenfree, Alan Wake, and Alan Wake's American Nightmare, because it is dropping, as of recording, tomorrow.
Oh,
but it'll have been out for a few days by the time you hear this. Deathmark and NG. I finished Resident Evil 7 literally like an hour ago, which I've been putting off forever, so everybody clap, I finally fucking finished that game.
Nice work, Maddie. You did the thing.
Thank you. And finally played this game called Anatomy, which is a little indie game about, like, the house as, like, a living being, which is very, very good.
Do always love a genus loci.
Yep.
That's good.
So, highly recommend. You can find it on, like, itch.io. I think that's me. Whew!
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Let me just speed through this bad boy. I got sick again. So
no.
Fuck that noise. It actually ended up being
bud.
worse than when I had COVID, which is very ironic. I'm just starting to shake it off now. But the point is, I did a lot of stuff that I would have done otherwise. But I also rewatched Halloween, the original Halloween. Great. I watched the original Amityville horror movie because it's one of the DVDs that my mom found at a garage sale back home and sent to me randomly, being like, "Do you want this?" And I was like, I mean, never seen them, so I'll have to watch them, I guess. So I watched that one. Didn't care for the original. I think it's not very good. It's very dull and not very scary. But whatever. I watched Kiyoshi Kurosawa's Cure, which is really great and disturbing and sick and very, very good. I rewatched Star Wars The Last Jedi because I can. It's good.
As is your right.
As is my right.
Well, it's okay. I'm not gonna fight with you on that one.
I just don't know what to tell you.
We both randomly watched the Star Wars.
Yeah.
I will say you posted like Never the Mind, The Last Jedi is good, and I remember posting on Tumblr when it came out like The Last Jedi is good and I don't want to get in a fight with anyone about this.
Yeah, you were right.
Like, I'm glad to know all these years later that I was right.
You were correct. I mean, there's some things here and there where I'm just like, oh, that doesn't quite work. But like overall, I'm like, this is a very good movie, actually. And
I mean, we're prequel defenders sometimes, so
exactly.
My
I don't want to watch the last one ever again.
No,
though,
terrible.
My beef with Last Jedi is ongoing, but I also that's fine. I'm not like the arbiter of good taste or good Star Wars movies.
Well, we can still have an episode on if we want to, but we don't have to do that now. That's not for
We've
tonight.
had like two
we've
Star
had like
Wars
we've
episodes.
had like
we'll
several
have
Star
a
Wars
third
episodes.
one. There's like 9 Star Wars movies, so
hey,
like
Sneeple, how come your mom's let you have so
There's
many
more
Star
than
Wars
9.
episodes?
I know. Well, technically 9 of the Skywalker saga. You know what I mean?
We already talked about doing a like similar to what we did for our 100th episode, where we put on a Star Wars movie and like talk over it. But I think we wanted to do Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah,
so.
we want to do that with the
just
prequels.
For brand reasons, we have to do Revenge of the Sith.
Do Revenge of the Sith.
That's our brand.
Also, because I've been needing to rewatch Revenge of the Sith because I got it on DVD.
I know, me too.
When I went to Portland last. So, anyway, blah 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 blah. Where was I? Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island and Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost every Halloween, baby, double feature. So good. I also went to go see Stop Making Sense in the theaters at Cobble Hill Cinemas. This was the first night that I was starting to feel not so good, and I actually should not have gone because I was probably very sick at that time, but I didn't know it, so I went anyway, and it was still great. So it was worth it.
I'm kicking myself for not going when they had it at the Pickford.
I'm sure it'll be back around again someday.
Oh, I'm sure it will. It's not like I missed my only chance, but I was like, oh, I really should have gone to see that.
Yeah, it was fun. It was definitely very fun. Notice some things I hadn't noticed before. I watched Rapture or Arabato, which was very good and very gay. It really do be like that. I rewatched Over the Garden Wall, of course. I rewatched Ginger Snaps, of course. I rewatched Fright Night, which we're going to talk about tonight. I watched The Black Cat, which is a pre-code horror movie. A lot of these I've been watching on the Criterion Channel. So the Criterion Channel is doing a pre-code horror series this month, so I watched that. Very, very good.
Sick.
Very disturbing and weird. I watched Haxan, which is a 1922 silent film documentary / not about witches. It's very good and very horny and just incredible, incredible images. You got to love it. I watched Carnival of Souls, which is also very good. That was kind of a bucket list one. I rewatched the Fright Night remake for tonight. I rewatched Casper because, of course, really unfortunate how hot Bill Pullman is in that movie. I rewatched What We Do in the Shadows. I rewatched Shaun of the Dead. You know, if you know, you know. And I watched Tales from the Crypt Demon Knight, which is the best movie ever. I watched that also on the Criterion Channel. It's part of their 90s horror series. It's fucking amazing. And I need everybody in the world to watch it. I've never seen an episode of the original Tales from the Crypt before that I can remember. So I was aware of it, but I was going in completely, and boy, howdy did I immediately just go, oh my God, I love this. This is exactly for me.
Delightful.
So good. And Billy Zane is just giving the performance of a lifetime. Go on.
I do love Billy Zane.
He's so good in this. It is kind of gross. It does get, like pretty gross in terms of like the gore / like horror stuff is very similar to a lot of the stuff you're going to see in the original Evil Dead, kind of in terms of like effects, more like Evil Dead 2 than the first one. But it's really funny, and it's got like a really great. It's like a siege western, but with demons.
Okay,
like they're all trapped in a hotel that's been in like the middle of the desert, and they're under siege from these demons. And it's a bunch of like 90s character actors. It's fucking amazing. Please watch it. And then last night I watched Plan 9 from Outer Space because this is one of the other DVDs that my mom sent me, which is notoriously a very, very bad film by the notoriously, infamously bad director Edward Wood Jr. First of all, I understood so much about Rocky Horror Picture Show watching this movie. Like, I was like, whoa, okay, I get it.
Excellent.
Second of all, yeah, I mean, it's bad. Like, it's pretty incompetent in almost every respect, and it's frustrating because you can see like where the bones of it are, like where he's cribbing from and what he was trying to do. And it's because of that, because it's just so sincere, and because he clearly loves the genre and like loves the story he's trying to tell so much that I really can't hate it that much, even though it is very bad. Like the writing and the acting especially, I'm just like, what's happening? Like, what is going? It's like they found the most wooden line deliverers in Hollywood and we're like, why don't you come work on this movie that we're doing? It's crazy. But I think it's really special and lovely. And okay, also because I was sick, I rewatched a bunch of the Harry Potter movies. I don't want to talk about it. It's bad.
Look, none of us can be held responsible for what we're doing when we're that fucking sick, dog.
Yeah, and look, also David Thewlis is really hot, and I can't think critically about that. I'm sorry, it's just unfortunate.
I'm like mad about it.
He's hot.
Every time you specifically remind me of how hot David Thewlis is, I'm like, I'm like, go away.
Remember how hot David Thewlis is? It's crazy.
Wish I didn't.
Also, the last thing that I did is I started watching the now canceled Harry Mason. I don't know what we call a reboot, prequel, remake thing they did on HBO that lasted for a couple of seasons with Matthew Rhys. It's fucking great. It's really, 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 really great.
Oh, hell yeah.
So I'm kind of so of course it got canceled, and I'm kind of just like, oh, well, great. Now I have all of this time to watch this show that's no longer on TV with Justin Kirk later on playing a closeted lawyer. So that's going to be fun for me. Anyway, everybody watch Perry Mason. Anyway, that's the end of that. I think that's all I've watched. Nice. So I guess there's nothing else to do but to talk about your friend and mine.
Welcome to our second ever Remake Rumble, where we pick a movie that has an original and at least one remake. Probably someday we'll do a 3-way cage match on this show, but for now, we watch an original movie, we watch the remake, and then we make them fight.
fight. Remind me, because I don't think
literally
I was
to the death. Yeah,
I don't think I was here for the last Remake Rumble. What was the first one you did again?
So our first one we did was Assault on Precinct 13.
That's correct. That's right. Okay.
Right.
A movie that I did not realize had a remake until I got really excited because I thought I found a DVD of it at the Value Village.
Ah, yes.
No.
Spoilers, listeners. I did not.
No.
Yeah. So
that was one that had a clear loser.
Yeah, that one had a clear winner and a clear loser. I think this one is gonna be a little bit of a tighter race.
Yeah.
So I think let's get into it.
Let's
kick this door open.
Well, let's just do
it's
welcome to
Fright Night 2011 with the steel chair.
Yeah. Fright Night 1985 versus Fright Night 2011.
Fright Night 1985. Really briefly, just directed by Tom Holland. And Fright Night 2011.
Why are there so many dudes named Tom Holland out there?
Don't worry about it. It's not a conspiracy. It's not conspiracy.
Have you ever seen them in the same room together?
Nope.
That's all I'm saying.
That's just, I can't think about this conspiracy theory right now. Fright Night 2011, directed by Craig Gillespie. The original Fright Night starring Chris Sarandon, William Ragsdale, Amanda Beers, Roddy McDowall. The 2011 remake with the late Anton Yelchin, Imogen Poots, Toni Collette, Colin Farrell, and David Tennant, and some other random people like fucking Dave Franco, randomly, who I forgot was in it. I was just like, was this guy in every single fucking movie in the early 2010s?
Oh, you know it.
Everybody had to pay, every studio had to pay their Dave Franco tax, a certain percentage of their movies had to contain Dave Franco, or they couldn't get made.
I will say, I do prefer him to his brother at this point, but whenever he's there, I'm just like, oh, what are you doing? He's very good in Beale Street Could Talk.
I don't think I remember what Dave Franco looks like, embarrassingly enough.
That's totally valid.
I would also like to say, before we get too deep into this, I was just poking around my desk, and I was like, oh, I have a necklace on my desk. That's weird. I normally keep them otherwise. This must be just something I randomly got from a subscription box or something. It is a vampire one, and it does say "bite me."
Oh,
that's really fucking funny.
What fucking timing to just suddenly look down and be like, "Does that necklace say bite me on it?"
Sure does.
That feels like something the Colin Farrell version of Jerry would wear. maybe.
I'm kicking
I think
myself
he
for
wears a
not
necklace,
having
so,
had time
like-
to rewatch the remake on this one. I have seen that movie. It's been a while. Confession time, everybody.
Don't worry. We got you.
Yeah.
I
own it on
remember
DVD.
I remember the important parts, which
So.
is mostly David Tennant in leather pants and everything that Colin Farrell does.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
I said this to you in the chat.
I
It
have
was a
priorities.
bit embarrassing.
I don't know if they're good priorities.
When I was watching the remake and Colin Farrell showed up for the first time and he's like doing something in the yard or something, I was literally like, oh no. It's like, oh my god,
He's wearing like a white tank top and jeans, and he's dirty, and he's got his hair slicked back.
Dude, it's
and he's
bad.
got that like I'm really gonna fuck some shit up kind of energy, and I was like, oh no.
Oh, it's really bad how hot he is.
Like,
in this
He's
movie.
like, hi, I'm gonna fuck your mom, and I'm like, can I get in line?
Can I?
Yeah. Now let me go back on our history or potential histories with these movies.
Sure.
I only saw the original Fright Night like a year or two ago. I could double check, but I don't really care to. So fairly recently overall, I saw the remake like when it came out, either like in college or around like the summer before college. I'm trying to remember
When
if
did
it
it
was
come
one of
out?
those things that you and I saw together.
I feel
Came out in
like
2011.
either
And I'm like,
I saw it with either you or I saw it with Emma Bukowski.
yeah. And it could be both. It could be
It
something
could have
that
been.
like we all, because we spent a decent amount of time like hanging out, the three of us, that summer.
Yeah.
So it could be something that we all. It also feels very much like a summer release.
Let me just check
I
the.
won't lie.
It does.
Let me
It
check the
does have
release
been
date on
weirdly.
there on that bad boy.
Yeah.
The original feels like a Halloween like horror
Yes.
kind of horror comedy movie. The remake does have a like we're doing Halloween, but we're fucking It has to borrow from Gravity Falls, because that's the only thing that I've watched other than my roommate play a lot of Starfield. Is which sidebar, why they gotta make these open? I'm like, okay, I get an open world, but like there's such a thing as like too open of a world. I will put a pin in that discussion. The fucking remake has like Summerween vibes.
Yeah, it was August 19th, 2011. So
it is very possible that was something that we saw before we all went off to college.
yeah, I definitely saw it in theaters. I remember that very distinctly because I was like,
I might have,
and
too,
I can't
I'm not
think.
sure.
I like this doesn't seem. I think I saw it before I went away. I think it was something where I bought a DVD of it like while I was at school. So, this is anyway, the long and short of it is I was like, is this a Helen and Maddie saw it together movie?
could have been.
And I think the answer is yes. But that doesn't really matter. Anyway, the point is, a quick summation for those who haven't seen them. Vampires, basically, is vampire moves in next door. Teen boy who lives next door has a girlfriend and a single mom and a best friend. And ends up becoming suspicious of the person who lives next door, is like, is that a vampire? And it turns into vampire hunting shenanigans with the help of some kind of celebrity who has the, is like rumored or has the kind of, what is the word I want here?
Reputation?
Thank you. The reputation of being like good with vampire hunting, and obviously it turned out to be just someone who is like a regular dude, but gets wrapped up in it anyway.
Yeah.
Truly, what if your new neighbor wanted to fuck your mom, but also was a vampire?
And also wanted to fuck your girlfriend.
Yeah!
In both movies.
I remembered the remake imperfectly, because I was watching the original, I thought, oh, the remake must have, like, some, like, less of this, like, fully...
It's just a different...
30-something, maybe 40-something adult man perving on a high schooler. Apparently it does not.
No, it's just a different vibe.
Yeah.
Because the original has the vibe of, like, he has a portrait that looks almost exactly like the girlfriend. And the vibe is, like, you look like a lost loved one. Which, specifically what is a trope when applied to, like, a teen girl or, like, a young girl is a trope that I very much do not like. And is also, I think, annoys me because it's a trope that is applied really frequently to Dracula adaptations.
That is true.
I know, right? They're like, what if we did this in Dracula? And I'm like, why are you doing this in Dracula? Dracula has like a completely discrete
different
set of shit going on.
I'm very selective and very biased because I don't like it in Coppola's Dracula very much. And I know that they do it for the exact same reason that they're doing it here. Chris Sarandon was the one who suggested this thing. He's like, oh, it just makes him a tiny bit sympathetic because otherwise it doesn't seem like he has any reason for doing what he's doing. And I'm like, okay, word.
Yes, that's
but like
fair.
Also it's still creepy. But I don't mind it in this one, even though it is very creepy because he's really hot and he sells it.
So hot.
It's infuriating.
Yeah.
He's so hot and he's also a very good actor.
He is.
And I still don't pick up what he's putting down because it's like,
well,
I don't think that makes him more sympathetic necessarily.
No.
But
I think too how it's handled in the original versus how it's handled in the movie. Like I don't think I'm erasing anything. So like in the original, it's very much like show versus tell in terms of like he sees this chick, he thinks that she looks like this person. They have the club scene where he's like seducing her, and it's like I'm watching that and I'm like, this is uncomfortably hot. And
they spent a lot more time with that club scene in the original movie than they do in the sequel.
That man is just eye fucking the camera the entire time he's on screen.
Yeah, he's very much it's working, and it's very colorful too. Like it's filmed really well, but it's all very much like on camera. Whereas in the remake, I feel like there's a lot more stuff in the script where he's talking about her. And the way that he talks about her, the way that he talks about her being ripe, the way that he talks about her doing this stuff, like just the way that people talk about Imogen Poots' character in the remake is just generally very weird, like calling her a skank and saying that she's just like, doing all this stuff. And it's just like, but she doesn't give off this vibe. She just seems like she's normal chick.
A girl.
And you're just like, oh, but she's obviously a skank. And you're just like, because she's skinny and attractive? And blonde?
I think she's a popular girl. Yeah. The idea is she's popular. And therefore, like, the nerd best friend is like, she's a skank.
Yeah.
And, like, it's one of those things where it's like, do I understand why I think that they had Colin Farrell's character do the, like, she's ripe? And he's saying this about both the girlfriend and the mom.
Yes, no, exactly. And more ripe in a way of, like, they want sex from me, or they want, Which is,
My plans have come to fruition, as opposed to whatever other weird shit's happening there.
Yeah.
And that scene takes place in a moment where it becomes very clear that Charlie, the protagonist, is aware that he's a vampire. Mm-hmm. And so I think that it's supposed to come off as a threat, like I'm a animalistic predator kind of threat, and like what you need to watch out for them. Parentheses specifically because like if you fuck around with me, I'm going to get them, which is like still gross, right?
Yeah.
Like it's still not good in it, but in a vampire movie, it like works a little better. But still, I was watching it and I was like, I was just like, oh come on!
The remake's attitude towards women in general is just kind of like, huh? And like it's not like it's like progressive or anything in the remake in the original, but it's like. It's still at least just like Amy is also a lot more like I don't want to use the word normal, but she's like just kind of more not like a popular girl. She's kind of like this friend that a girl that Charlie is hanging out with, and it's more like she's like there's more weirdness about sex with that relationship, because like she's kind of like hesitant to do it, and he's like, I am a teenage boy and I want to have sex.
It's
so that plays that like factors into what happens with Jerry, but
I think there's also an interesting angle there where in the remake Jerry is like, I am threatening these women because of their relationship to you, Charlie, as opposed to in the original where it sort of starts out that way, but he wants Amy for her own sake.
Yeah.
Like, it has to do with her proximity to this other woman, but like the club scene is so like, obviously he's almost like hypnotizing her,
Mm-hmm.
but as it gets more reciprocal,
Mm-hmm.
it's like his obsession with her becomes his weakness.
Yeah.
And it has nothing. Charlie's incidental at that point.
Mm-hmm.
He's annoying, but he's annoying because what Jerry wants is Amy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very similar to, I think, in some, well, and this is going to lead into a larger discussion, probably, the difference between Ed's character in the remake and the original as well. In like, it happens very quickly in the remake. I totally forgot how quickly that happens. It's like very early on.
Yeah.
Ed's like, there's a vampire living next door to you. And Charlie's like, no. And then Ed, like, Jerry corners Ed and like turns him into a vampire already. And it's like, okay. And it seems like it's more like you're bothering me and you've discovered what I am.
The action happens, I feel like the pace of the remake is way faster than the original. Mm-hmm. It's just a different, I will say in the remake, there's a moment where Jerry says, like, thank you for bringing her to me, she makes me feel young again, which feels like it's trying to, like, throw a bone back to the way it works in the original, which is, like, once again, I'm not excusing it, it's just, like, which is, like, also, it's, like, a weird throwaway line to be, like, I don't know, I feel like they're trying to do something and it just doesn't quite work. Mm-hmm. Once again, there's moments where I'm thinking specifically of when he, like, draws a line across his chest to bleed.
Yeah.
And she, like, goes to drink his blood. Mm. And I'm like, now, unfortunately, I find Colin very attractive. Problem.
Yeah.
And, like, I would let him turn me into a vampire and do that. Much like I would let Chris Sarandon in the remake hypnotize me in the middle of a fucking dance club.
Yeah, I don't care. Do it.
It would have taken, like, a minute fraction of the amount of effort that he puts into seducing her on that dance floor to get me. It would be embarrassing.
This movie would be over so quickly if I was in any of their shoes. I'd just be like, yep, sure, what do I do?
Take me. No, yeah.
And I
but
mean,
also,
no, go ahead.
I think the implication is that Charlie and Amy are like 18, like 17. Like, mm-hmm. They're supposed to be older than Charlie and Amy are in the original. Yeah. So, but that doesn't make it less gross. Mm. It's still, like, pretty, like,
yeah. And I mean, I don't know if this is changing topics in some way. The 2010s. I mean, it's so weird because the early 2010s, the 2010s in general, were so no homo. They were just so no homo about everything, and it's so crazy to me.
Think about Star Trek 2000. Think about the 2009 Star Trek movie.
Oh, dude, I can't.
Like, the fucking epitome of, like, late aughts, early 2010s. Like absolute clinging death grip to the no homo.
There's a moment in the remake where, like, Ed and Charlie are wrestling in, like, a fight, and I do remember specifically that Ed is, like, choking Charlie out, and he's like, he says something along the lines like, this is feeling pretty homo to me, or I'm feeling pretty homo right now. That movie has a lot of, like, weird homoerotic stuff for a 2010s movie, and it is nowhere near the approximation of what's going on in the original. No. But I do remember there are some moments where you're like, what?
Well, we'll get to David Tennant in a moment, but, like...
yes.
But, like...
The primary thing I remember about this movie, David Tennant's leather pants.
I do just want to mention the gay credentials of the 1980s movie. I mean, it is wild that a 2010s movie would be more homophobic than a movie made in the fucking 1980s.
It's really not, though. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, having watched a lot of both, I'm like, somehow weirdly...
It's pretty... And I don't know.
No, that's fair. The 80s were incredibly homophobic.
I mean, it was like that thing where, like, they're really homophobic, but, like, the signals are different, I guess.
No, that's fair.
So it's, Sorry, Maddie.
The to go back to what you were talking about with Ed, where Ed gets turned like right away.
Yeah.
And that's the other difference, is that in the original, Charlie's the one who's like, my neighbor's a vampire,
Yeah.
and Ed's like, dude, you're being nuts. And in the remake, it's Ed being like, my dude, he's a vampire, and Charlie's like, you're being nuts.
Mm-hmm.
But both of those scenes have this element of like, you're different.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone makes fun of you because you're different, and you can join me and not feel different anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And the reading of both those scenes to me was, especially the original, but also the remake too, had that element of like, oh, you're different, not because you're a nerd or because you're weird, but like, it's you're different because you're gay.
In the original?
In the original especially,
yeah.
But there's a little bit of that. There's less of a vibe of that in the remake because they just didn't have time to set it up. But the Ed in the original, or in the remake, is like desperate to get his best friend's attention back.
Yeah.
And is like, there's just this aura to both of them of like the homoeroticism of like vampirism of like, join me and you won't feel different anymore, and you're different because you're gay.
I mean, can I just read something from the original script, because I found the original screenplay on here. I mean, literally, he's like,
delightful.
So I was like looking for that scene specifically. The original one to me reads, I mean, the way that it's filmed as well reads very much like a seduction.
Yes.
I don't want to read too much into it, but yeah, Jerry says, you have nothing to fear from me. In parentheses, it says, in a voice like honey. Okay. I understand what it's like being different, only they won't make fun of you anymore or beat you up. I'll see to that. All you have to do is take my hand. And Evil Ed slowly looks up at him through his tear-stained eyes to see Jerry staring down at him, his hand outstretched to him, a slight smile on his face, gentle, seductive, beguiling. And he gives him his hand. This is still the screenplay. It's beautiful. Jerry's hand. Perfectly shaped with thin, elegant fingers, almost womanly, the nails impossibly long, perfectly shaped, tapering to 5 gleaming razor-sharp points. Evil Ed slowly reaches out and takes the vampire's hand. Jerry smiles down at him and slowly leans down, lifting him up into the last embrace Edward Thompson will ever know. Okay. Sure. And in the movie, he like folds him into his
coat. He folds him into his arms.
Girl.
And like folds him into his arms away from the camera.
Yeah.
Kind of like a... So like I said, like, there's very much less of that in the remake. I think there's still an element there. But in the original, I think it is very much a reading of like... Because you don't see much of evil in the original, like, at all. So you get the idea that he's kind of like an occult weirdo, but it's not super there.
Yeah, it's like,
but so like it's hard to do any other reading of that scene other than you're different and they bully you because of something else.
Yeah, I mean, in the remake, it feels to me like they spent, as you said, like they spend more time, even after Ed dies, because then that does happen like really quickly, or Ed gets turned rather, like recapping Charlie and Ed's friendship and how Charlie and Ed fell out because Ed feels like Charlie didn't think he was cool anymore, or because of something else. Regardless, it does read to me more like I personally didn't get a lot of like the difference between that. Like it felt more to me like
it does feel much more like a nerd thing.
But there is like it's like trying to burst forth like a flower out of the snow is what the homoeroticism in that movie is like. It's like, come on, you're so close.
Yeah, it is very much trying, and it feels like it's almost like somebody was, or somehow it was, honestly, somebody probably was kind of pulling it back because of the era it was made in.
Mm-hmm.
I've said that, like, I think in my review, or I said somewhere that like this is the only way a remake of this movie could have been made in 2011. Like, it's an extremely 2010s movie.
Oh, absolutely.
And that is down to the way like the gay shit is treated, and like the way that like high school feels,
and the way that the high schoolers dress, which was making me so not nostalgic for high school. I was like, get this away from me.
as someone who was a senior in 2011 and graduated that year, I was like, oh yeah, brother, I remember this. I remember that this is exactly what it was like.
Potent.
Yeah. Yeah, in a way that was, like, not necessarily nostalgic, but, like, in a... This movie is throwing me back to that era, especially as someone who was a nerd, watching some of that, like, and thinking about, like, the home videos me and my friends used to make, like, dicking around. Like, you know, it was that same kind of vibe.
Yeah.
In a way that was really interesting. And like, I'm not saying this as a benefit to the remake, but it's also like, I don't know, given the era of filmmaking it was made in, I cannot imagine the movie being a big release and being different than it was, honestly. Yeah. I don't think it would have probably made it through.
I think the fact
that David Tennant kisses Anton Yelchin on the mouth.
Yeah, I was just about to say, like, I feel like the only reason they let him get away with any of the stuff he's getting away with in that movie is because he's British. And they're just like, well, you know,
he's using his original accent. Yeah.
But like, I mean, I remember watching the trailers for this movie and being like, "Ugh, he looks so awful," because they got him in this stupid wig and beard. It's like, it looks like, you know, it's got the long, like, Russell Brand hair. And then they go into the movie and he walks in, then he, like, takes it off. And he's just, like, walking around shirtless in leather pants for the entire thing with eyeliner. And I'm just like...
With eyeliner and painted fingernails. And at one point he, like, grabs his crotch to adjust the leather pants.
You know.
Like, he is going, like... hard. You're like, it's just like, and he's got like jewelry and earrings and he's drinking fucking like some gay ass fucking, I forget exactly what it is. It's like, oh, it's Midori. He's drinking like Midori.
And he's standing the way that he stands sometimes, where it's just like, girl? And
that man has a really, really hot girlfriend. And so he's either bi or he's gay, because at one point she talks about him finishing too quick, and I'm like,
yeah, no, you know,
it could be that he just isn't into you, which is impossible because she's gorgeous. So hot.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like, that man is not straight.
No.
In that movie,
he's done so much for us. David Tennant.
We owe him everything, honestly. The fact that he ended up... And Anton Yelchin is really, like, putting his... He is doing his goddamn best. He's putting his full weight into that movie.
He is really... I was thinking that to myself, too. Like, obviously, I think Anton Yelchin was a very good actor. But I was like, doesn't need to be giving the performance that he's giving in this movie. Like, he's really selling it.
He's, like... He is. Yeah. He really does a good job of playing the gal, I forget her name, but the gal who plays Amy is also like
Imogen
Poots. Is doing pretty. It's like it's like the three of them and call it like the four main characters essentially are all like really putting their work into a Fright Night remake.
Yeah.
Colin Farrell, despite the fact that he is saying like the dumbest, grossest shit you could ever imagine, is like one kind of horrifying, and not in a like you're saying gross shit, like gross incel shit way, but in a way you're like, oh god.
Yeah.
And also is like the sexiest thing you've ever seen.
He's said apparently that this was the hardest character he ever had to play, because he was like, he doesn't have a soul, like he's soulless, he's just like this evil, and I can't find, because Chris Sarandon was like, I need to find something sympathetic about this guy, because I can't. I mean, I'm assuming that was what was going on, because Colin Farrell ran into the same problem where he was like, this guy's got nothing redeemable about him. This is so hard for me to pull off. And it's like, well, you're probably only, he's a very good actor, so it's a shame.
He did it, though.
He did it.
I think but
it's like, I think you were cast because of how hot you were, but, props on you for trying, but like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he says something about his character, like, at one point being, like, 400 years old. So imagine a guy being 400 years old and 400 years old of just, like, nothing in his heart. Yeah. My god, that's impossible to do. And, I think he does a pretty good job. And also, once again, we said it a million times, but, like, it's
fucked up how hot he is.
He and Chris Sarandon both are, like, distractingly attractive, where there were points where I was like not paying attention to the movie and then was like, oh Right, the movie.
The movie.
I was just looking at them. Yeah.
I've just been like staring into Chris Sarandon's fucking eyes.
There's there are moments when I forget,
45 seconds.
which is really funny because it's one of my favorite movies, and I forget that he's Prince Humperdinck in The Princess Bride, and I'm like, oh right, that's happening.
Right.
We're supposed to forget that he's really hot in that movie because his character is so not sexy in that movie, and it's so funny how he can just turn it on. It's like Marilyn Monroe, he can turn it on and off.
He just turn it on.
Because he's so not sexy in that movie.
Oh no. And then in this movie he's like blinding.
Yeah.
I do think that the remake really needed a Billy Cole.
Yeah, I miss my boy.
With the pace of the pace of the remake, I think I can imagine like why they didn't. It would have been hard to also work up that like there's someone else living in, and also one like the no homoism of the 2010s is like how would they? Because in the original, like the mom is looking out the window and is like, oh, he doesn't live in Carpenter. With my luck, he's probably gay. And then that gets played off as, like, I know he's not gay because he's got, like, this hot woman coming over or whatever. And I'm like, I don't know how they would have tried to do something like that in the 2010s of, like...
Yeah.
I have a roommate I bought a house with, and, like, because I cannot imagine, but like I think it still needed to do something.
Yeah, I mean, again, just to touch on, as I didn't get to fully cover the gay credentials of the original movie. Obviously, we have the thing going on with Billy Cole, which is just like what he's like Jerry's familiar in this movie, I guess. I don't really know what he is.
What if Renfield involved extremely obvious blowjob fucking imagery?
Yeah.
They never say what he's supposed to be. When he dies, he like dissolves into a pile of goop, and that's kind of it. There's never any explanation of what kind of creature he's supposed to be.
Goop reason.
But he's clearly like a Renfield.
Yeah. My whole comment on that was it's a bummer when your live-in boyfriend turns into Nickelodeon slime.
It's a shame.
Don't you hate to see it?
But with the actors,
anyway,
so Amanda Bierce, who played Amy, has been an out lesbian since 1993.
Hell yeah, girl.
She also apparently at cons, so they gave her fake cleavage for when she's the vampire Amy at the end of the movie, and she brings them to cons, and she's like, "Feel free to touch my breasts," but she holds like the fake breasts and stuff. So she's Vincent Price, obviously, who was half the inspiration for Peter Vincent's character, who was also named after Peter Cushing. Vincent Price was bisexual, and so was Rodney McDowell, who plays him in the original, and then Stephen Jeffries, who plays Ed, is gay and also appeared in several gay pornographic films. So it's just like, that's just kind of like a coincidence that it happened that way, but it's like, oh. And I don't know how much Peter Vincent in the original is implied to be gay. Some people, I was like doing some reading beforehand, and a lot of people, like people online on the internet, seem to think that it's implied.
I think
he gives off like
maybe
older gay man living alone
kind
of vibes, but it can also be
Am I
like
misremembering
older...
Is he British or is he just like...
No,
Am I making that up?
I think he's just...
No, he just seems... It's like, I think my brain was either like,
man.
Okay, he's either gay or British.
Is he gay? Is he British?
It's something so gay or European starts playing.
He does, because he does a... I remember... no. I believe the character is American.
I mean,
he does
McDowell is British. I mean, he's Irish, but...
Yeah, but I think he's doing an American accent for this movie, if I recall.
I cannot remember.
Maybe not. Maybe that's why they let David Tennant keep his natural accent.
I just watched that movie and I already...
And I'm totally blanking.
Because he's such a natural...
I know for the Fright Night bit, he does the Welcome to Fright Night.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
I think he might just be doing sort of like a mid-Atlantic...
Yeah.
Hang on, I gotta confirm this
kind of a thing.
For real.
I think you could... I understand why people are reading that way, but I don't know that the film itself is going out of its way to be like, this guy is gay.
Yeah.
No. Not really.
I think that there's one
because we know what it looks like when they're going out of the way to be like, this guy is bisexual in a threatening way.
Yeah. Yeah.
But also someone was like, "Oh, it's like Jerry and Peter are like fighting for Charlie's, two sides of Charlie's soul or whatever." And like one of them, I'm just like, "But they're both gay then in that case." So I just don't. I mean, I don't understand. I mean, maybe. I guess you could read the movie like that.
I also don't think in the are they talking about in the remake or the original?
In the original.
Because I think in the original that's not the case. And Peter is very much, even more so than in the remake, is very much like, I don't want to do this. I'm afraid. Like, I'm terrified of facing an actual vampire. And Charlie is basically bringing him in by the scruff of his neck to be like, okay, man, like, let's fucking do this. Not fully. Like, Peter does eventually, like, say to himself, like, okay, like, at the very end is like, okay, I'm gonna do this. Like, we're gonna follow through. But he is, like, obviously very afraid of vampires. I don't think there's, if anything, it's like...
He literally tries to skip town on them.
Yeah.
To, like get away from this.
I would not say Peter and Jerry are fighting for two sides of Charlie's soul. I would not say that is the case.
Also, I don't think that Jerry has... I don't think there's ever really any danger of Charlie getting seduced, especially not in the original. I don't really, again, like I said, I didn't get a chance to
not really in the
remake. It's not that, I don't think that's ever part of the stakes of this movie. I think that there are, it's like a what's going to happen to Amy, what happened to my weird friend, what's going to happen to my mom, is he going to kill me?
Yes,
but
I think it's a threat to, he sees Charlie as like a you're in my way, and every night of the movie, essentially Charlie's trying to figure out another way to not die.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because he's a threat. He's like, he needs to be taken out of the way.
Roddy McDowall is English in this. We just totally went out of my brain. But yeah.
Yeah, I think what people are like, oh, he's got to be gay. I'm like, no, he's just British.
He's just British.
No, he's just English. Yeah,
a little bit effeminate.
Like he's just English in that way that like it's not even that he's particularly posh. It's just that American sensibilities tend to conflate the two.
And also, he's an actor, and he's like a very dramatic actor, and that reads as gay.
Yeah,
sometimes, especially in older movies. But he's just very like he just plays his part up very well, and it's just very like I'm putting on a show for you. He's one of those actors that does like TV horror movies that like he strings together for like TV.
Hey,
of course he's dramatic.
Remember when Alan Cumming used to introduce Masterpiece Mystery?
Vividly. Another bisexual icon. Oh,
yeah.
Well, no,
now I'm just imagining a remake but where Peter Vincent is played by Alan Cumming.
Oh, so good. He used to do all of the intros when Endeavour was on. So, and he has natural Scottish accent, so he'd always go,
that's right,
Endeavour, and we were like, Endeavour, yes, we're ready.
I forgot.
Yeah, I miss those days. He was right after. Well, I guess he was co-current to Laura Linney would do the introductions for the regular Masterpiece Theater. Which is now called Masterpiece, I guess, or it's just something else. I don't know.
I think it's just called Masterpiece.
Oh, sorry, branding.
Pardon the fucking tangent, as I just
tangent us
coming for a moment.
What? That's crazy.
This show, no.
Me, hot skinny Scottish dudes.
Oh, David Tennant.
David Tennant is so skinny.
He's so skinny.
Yeah, this movie. And just like, he's so skinny. And like every single time I see him, I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
That's a meat up.
That flat ass. It's really
no ass to speak of.
Nothing
none.
there. It's okay.
A twig.
That's okay. I came to terms with that a long time ago. Yeah, actually, I think I found this. God, I wonder if I can find it really quickly. Back when on Twitter you couldn't make these huge essays, I wrote a tweet that I couldn't publish about David Tennant in Fright Night because it was too long. So I had to save it as a draft. It's basically nothing that I haven't already said here. I wonder if it's my gallery. Oh yeah, there it is.
It's really fucking funny.
I say it's like, and you can see the red where it doesn't show up as red on there, where it cut off. It says, you can't see that actually. I said it's like, you think you can survive Fright Night 2011 because trailer David Tennant looks absolute shit tier, like Russell Brand is a goddamn Disney villain, and then it's like, no, lol, that's just a costume. And he's looking like this for the rest of the movie, actually, just walking around in eyeliner and leather pants and doing the willowy anti-gender thing he does sometimes. And you have to Kermit if you're me. So, some point when I started talking about the eyeliner, it was like, you have to stop.
It was like just the finger came down from on high.
You were like,
it's like that gif where she reaches over and pulls the pen.
No, literally.
Yeah.
Like,
yep.
Stop.
No time to stop posting.
You're like, you're too horny.
Yeah.
And you need to stop.
I remember that being an awakening for me, specifically
think,
that, and also when he kisses Anton Yelchin on the mouth, I was like...
That he does. I also think there's an interesting thing here where Jerry in the remake, like, obviously has money, but he's not, like, you do see him get, like, dirty and disheveled and all this kind of stuff, and, like, that's part of his, like, magnetism. But, like, you never see Jerry in the original with the fucking hair out of place unless he's turning into, like, a vampire monster thing. There's just a different... I just think it's an interesting, almost, like, class threat vibe, where you've got, like, you have, like, what is your you're a teenage boy, and in a fucking Hamlet vein, what is your now single mom, like, vulnerable to? Which I don't have, like, an actual, like, coherent thought here. I just think it's fascinating because, like, I was watching the original thinking, I think it's hilarious and an excellent character choice that my man is just walking around with this, like, bright red cashmere scarf, like, all the time, that is, like, it's always, like, perfectly arranged, and he has this, like, unbelievably bizarre, like, blue leather trench coat, which my roommate was like, it's so ugly, and I was like, I'm not going to say out loud I would kill for that coat. Because I would, because I have questionable taste.
But he makes it work.
He makes it work. Also, I have questionable taste in a collection of colorful leather jackets. But
it gives him an hourglass figure, first of all.
It does. It has some serious fucking shoulder pads, which, again, king shit. I just think it's
interesting.
Because he's a predator, but part of the threat is that he's so charming, and he's so, like, normal seeming, and he's so, but
normal seeming, but also, like, bougie kind
of. He's specifically bougie seeming, as opposed to, like, a more of, like, a I have
blue-collar
money
worker. He works specifically, they say that he works construction on the strip at night.
Yeah, like a guy who's made a fuck ton of money doing construction, as one does from time to time, as opposed to a guy who seems like he, like, invested in, like, microchips or inherited money and then invested it in microchips or some, like, fancy futuristic shit from 1985.
I've just been reading the script for the 2011 version, which seemed very different in many ways already. Obviously, scripts changed a lot during shooting, but I just want to point out that the Midori is in the script. Just throwing that out there.
Of course it
but
is.
The kiss isn't, because I was wondering to myself, God, I kind of remember there being some fucking rumor or IMDb fact that, like, oh, David Tennant improvised that. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds like something that he would do.
He fucking did.
I don't know if that's true, because I can't find any confirmation. I will say that it is not in the original shooting script, but so are a lot of things that look to not be in the original that made it into the final product. So,
but here's the thing: is I believe that he would.
I do too. Is the problem?
I have faith that he would.
Knowing what I know about him,
knowing what I know about David Tennant.
Oh,
my close personal friend,
David Tennant.
I'm also just thinking about drinking just unmixed Midori now.
Not for me.
No.
Not for me.
No.
I think he says in the movie, like, it tastes like ass, but I, like, can't get enough of it
Oh,
or whatever.
interesting. What an interesting turn of phrase.
Not that exactly, but he says, like... I think he says maybe, like, it tastes like piss, but I'm hooked or something.
Okay, well.
Which is not better.
No.
No, it's really not.
I mean, you've got the shooting script up. You can look.
Let me look and see what he says. See if I can find him.
Yeah.
Helen, are you about to do a control F for piss?
Well, let's find the piss. Is the piss in it? Nope, not yet.
These movies are both like I love that these movies are both like pulpy. The first one is definitely more campy than the second one, but they're both like pulpy, weird vampire movies, and that's something I love, kind of no matter what. And they're both like gross in different ways, and there's lots of like blood and stuff. The first one has great practical effects.
They're really well.
They really stand up.
They're great.
Specifically, all of the vampire modeling is so fucking good, and the extended sequence after Ed gets fucking impaled is like really quite upsetting.
Yeah, it's really sad.
I was like, man,
yeah,
this is awful.
It goes on for a really long time, and the way that they Peter's like, and Roddy McDowell's like reaction to it is very just like, oh my god,
he's
this
just
is
watching
horrifying.
this kid die.
Yeah,
and knowing that he did it.
Yeah.
The script, by the way, before we get any further, it says looks like pee.
There we go. That's what it is.
Disappointing.
You're right.
Which he's not wrong. It kind of does.
Yep.
Although, listeners, if your pee is that color, you need to drink more water.
Yeah. Go see it. Also, see a doctor.
Also, probably go see a doctor because I think Midori's green.
Green, like bright green.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So once again, if you pee and it looks like Mountain Dew, go to a doctor.
Go to a doctor.
Like we're not medical professionals, but also.
And yeah, in the remake, Ed dies because Charlie stabs him through the heart.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the way the vampires die is very different, where they like burst into ashes, which is a trope I'm always kind of into, which is like you kill a vampire and they just burst into ashes. I think that's always fun.
Mm-hmm.
As a Buffy the Vampire Slayer loyalist, I agree with you.
Yeah.
And instead of the like, I'm gonna watch this kid die for like at least a couple minutes. While he transforms from the wolf from the thing.
As soon as he did, I was like, oh, I love John Carpenter's The Thing.
This dog looks exactly like the dog from the thing, but let's move on. Yeah, he falls to his knees and like reaches up to his friend and says like, "It's okay, Charlie, it's okay," which also was like, that's sad. That got me. They're both touching in different ways, I think, where it's like for Peter Vincent, Vampire Hunter, who was about ready to run to a different fucking country to get away from this shit, and instead he like kills a kid and realizes like now he has to kind of commit to the bit. He has to like, he knows he has to follow through and like help save people versus like I killed my best friend and he like freed me from the guilt of what I had to do.
Well, also, we haven't talked about the fact that in this remake, Peter also has this weird backstory where he was... His parents were killed by vampires when he was a kid, and he ran away.
Specifically, were killed by Colin Farrell.
Yeah, that's like the only other moment in the movie.
Kind of unnecessary. Where I'm like,
yeah, it's like why?
Why?
But
why can't he just be like a weirdo who's obsessed with the occult? Those people exist.
Those people exist, like, and they look like David Tennant.
Also, yeah, he's like an occult magician on like at the Hard Rock. I think.
It's like it's not that deep.
Though it does lead to the line of like, you have your mother's eyes and your father's name, which does make me laugh.
Yeah, that is very
good.
funny. Also, a little bit like, I'm just we're so close.
Okay, Gaylord,
we're so close to you two making out, and it would be so important to me visually, but like, it doesn't happen. I mean, it is kind of this like, nice thing about like, there's a guy you have trauma. trauma, you you exploit it in yourself. So you're like, I have this thing that happened. I can't talk about it. I can't talk about it. I'm going to be a stage magician and make it look just like trashy and flashy and disgusting and all of that stuff.
And make it about the thing that I'm afraid of.
Yeah. Instead of actually addressing it, because the minute that he sees him again, he tries to run away, and that's interesting.
He has a safe room that he hides in.
Well, literally, yeah. And that's how Christopher Mintz-Pass loses an arm. Cuts it off.
Yep. And also, that's where he sees his, like, girlfriend or whatever, like, lying dead on the ground and, like, crumples to the ground and cries.
In his little bathrobe.
It's David Tennant. Yeah.
And you're just like, I mean, you're so good at emoting that I care, I guess.
Yeah. This movie has so many... I know we've already said this like 12 times, but my god, this movie has so many points where it's like, you should have really just gone for the gay shit.
Really?
If you were gonna get this close. Like, you have your mother's eyes?
Yeah, like, what?
That's not a thing that straight people say. And also, he's got, like, a bunch of... They decide to go for, instead of just, like, a Dracula thing where he's got a Renfield and he lives in the basement or whatever, that he's a specific type of vampire who builds a family. Which, interesting, I wish they had spent, like, any more time digging into, like, what kind of man does that, who, like, has no soul but, like, is desperate to build a family.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, like Twilight?
They do reference Twilight in the remake at the beginning, actually.
They do. Because it was 2011.
Yep. But I'm like, I wish that I think this movie could have spent there once again. No way that was gonna happen. This is a 2011 pulpy action horror movie. They were not gonna nudge open the door and spend more time on the, like, why does Jerry do what he does?
Mm-hmm.
But also, like, I would have loved to see any kind of scene where he tries to convince David Tennant to join the family or something. Like, I have your parents here with us. Like, you could be one of us as the vampires crawl. Because the vampires, like, he is already turning. He's already turning.
He's already in the process of turning.
He's already turning. Because the other vampires all were, like, piled on top of him. And it's, like, just, like, there was easily could have just been, like, a just let it go. Just join us.
Yeah.
I could write this scene right now. Give me 5 minutes. I'll open Google Docs.
Do it.
I could have written this and send this, and they could add it as an extra scene. It's not hard.
It's very sexy because it's like they start they're in the cellar basically, and they start opening the, like, letting sunlight in,
the
basically,
floorboards
and so
to let sunlight in.
And David's like, David Tennant's like smoking. David Tennant, Peter,
because he's turning.
Yeah, and that's exactly what he says. Like, I'm like. Either he says I'm smoking, or Charlie says you're smoking.
He does.
And
he says I'm smoking.
And Jerry says you're turning. And it's like, okay, let's take that to the next step. The archive of our own situation is with this movie.
Probably not.
I thought about it. I thought about opening it up, and I was like, one, it's going to be disappointing. Two, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole.
I'm here for you. I got you. I was also just noting that Fright Night 1985 has only 71 fics on Archive of Our Own, and 2011 has 612. So just give me a moment.
Whoa!
Oh yeah,
I was not expecting either of those.
Most of
so
them,
many more than I thought it would.
Most of them look like they're going to be Good Omens crossovers. Surprise, surprise. Well, let's just see here. Anyway, continue with your last thought.
No, I was gonna say, like, if I had to pick a movie here, if I had to pick like, what is the better movie? The original.
Yeah.
The original has less things there that I'm gonna complain about, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that are really good there. But, unlike in our last Remake Rumble, where I was like, one of these movies sucks and I'm not gonna watch again, I still actually like the remake. I do. I own it on DVD. I am very fond of it. Like, it's a great movie to just, like, sit and, like, kick back at home and, like, have a laugh with and, like, just kind of enjoy and sometimes be like, blah. But, for the most part, be like, this is a fun, like, dick round action horror movie. The part at the end where Amy's face shifts into the, like, vampire maw is still scary, like, every time. It's so nasty. It's very it's gross, and it works. Like, at one point, Colin Farrell digs up a gas line and lights it on fire so he can destroy the house, and then walks in and says, "I don't need an invite if there's no home."
Yeah, it's hot when he does
and
that.
It's very,
that does fuck.
And it's very funny. And I love it. So it's like, you know, if I have to pick a winner here, it's the original.
Yeah.
If you have to only watch one, watch the original.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're looking for a fun, like, I'm just hanging out on Halloween and I want to watch a goofy double feature, I think you can watch both.
It's always good to watch, like, to do two, right? I feel like I'm always really interested in how movies change and affect each other and are influenced by each other, right? And so it is fun to watch them back to back, especially when they're direct remakes, or one's a direct remake of the other, and see what happens. I am also very clearly, like, pretty obviously from what we've said tonight, a bigger fan of the original. I think it's a better movie. I think there's more going on there, even subtextually, which is fun. I do like that.
I think it's cleverer.
Yeah, I mean, the performances I think are slightly better from, like, Chris Ryan and Roddy McDowall specifically, and Amy Bierce. Although, and not that I think that anybody in the remake is bad. It's like they're all serviceable, and as I said, Anton Yelchin and David Tennant specifically are doing, like, way more than they need to be doing for this kind of movie.
They're putting. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to cut this out or not. I was going to say they're putting their whole pussy into it.
No, they are.
I've been thinking that phrase this entire time, and I didn't want to say it out loud because every single time I do, I feel like I sound so awkward.
No, I say it all the time.
But the two of them are putting their whole pussy into it. And once again, like, Colin Farrell's got a difficult role to deal with, and he does a pretty good job, like, selling it, because you think he's gross, and you think he's like, this guy is a nasty animal predator.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what he is.
Yeah.
And he's selling it.
I think Toni Collette is underused.
Very much. She is barely used at all. Then they stuff her into a hospital room.
Yeah.
For the rest of the movie. And I'm like, what even happened? I remember watching it and being like, wait, why is her head bleeding? Like, what happened? Is it because of the car crash? Like, they don't even address, like, what happened for her to get injured. It's very weird. Like, you're gonna get Toni Collette, like, do something with her, but whatever. That's a whole other kettle of fish.
Ezra, you were saying something, and I missed it before, just now.
Oh, I just had to take a moment to think about Colin Farrell and the best eyebrows on, like, any man.
Truly, like,
I'm so jealous.
They're an instrument. I mean, like, watching. I mean, anything that he's in, obviously, but especially in rewatching In Bruges earlier this year, as I did, I'm just like, they are really just doing so much heavy lifting.
Those are some fucking load-bearing eyebrows.
Those are just some load-bearing fucking weight-lifting eyebrows. And it's not like when I'm watching an actor like Emma Watson, who's an eyebrow actor in the worst sense, where it's just like, I think I'm having a different emotion now, so I'm going to move my eyebrows up and down. And it's like, no, you're a teenager, stop it. It's Colin Farrell's is like, I have my face is beautiful, and I have these beautiful eyebrows.
And now I'm gonna either break your heart, turn you on, or both.
Anytime I fill in my eyebrows, that is what I'm going for.
I feel like
what I'm trying to do.
I feel like you get there.
Well, thank you.
You have very good eyebrows.
I was like, I don't have quite the level of eyebrow, but, like, that is in my heart. That is always what I'm going for.
Mine look thinner in real life than they do on camera, but I'm always very pleased with how they look on camera. I'm always like, yeah,
they do look good on camera. I should start filling in my eyebrows. So I think that would look good. I'm very proud of how they've grown back out. I like compulsively plucked my eyebrows for a long time as, like, a nervous tick thing, but I feel like they look good.
Beautiful. Ezra,
this has been Eyebrow Talk with the game.
What is your final thoughts on the two of these? I know you didn't get a chance to rewatch the remake, but
I think I am. They're much the same. Where I like both of them. I think that the remake, the ways that it tries to kind of update things, are pretty hit or miss. I do think they're both just, like, a fun, good time. I think they both don't take themselves super seriously, which would be the total kiss of death for this kind of movie. And also, mostly I just am like, Chris Sarandon's so hot I can't function.
Hot.
It's a great pair of movies if you're attracted to men.
Yeah,
it is a great pair of movies if you're attracted to men. If you're not attracted to men,
I think still fun.
The original's
still fun.
I'm not. Imogen Poots is very pretty. I'm not very attracted to her.
Not really
but
my type.
But Amanda Beer's like I'm 100%.
She looks real fucking good in this movie.
So beautiful.
Yep.
There are a lot of very hot people in this movie.
Yeah.
Honest to God, I hate that I'm about to say this with my human mouth. Rodney McDowell looks pretty good.
Looks pretty good.
The high school theater level of gray hairspray on that man aside, he looked pretty good.
Yeah, he's got some Remus Lupin vibes going on for sure.
And also,
I hate that you said that because that's what I was thinking the
doing.
whole fucking time, and I was like beating myself over the head with a fucking newspaper.
Gotta speak the truth.
Okay, hold on. To wrap this up, I have to say, because I told you guys that like the role that I would die to play in these movies is Evil Ed specifically.
Yes.
Like, what do I have to do to play that kind of role? Which, if you had to pick a role in these movies, what would be the pick?
I mean, come on, it's got to be Peter Vincent for me. It's
respect.
That's just character.
I mean, it's either Peter Vincent or fucking oh my god, what's his live-in?
Billy Cole.
Billy Cole.
It's either that or Billy Cole.
And I
think for me it would either be Evil or it would be Jerry.
Nice,
but specifically like
the 6 genders, the 5 genders.
Yeah, but I think it would have to specifically be remake Jerry, where it's like I'm kind of dirty.
I feel like if I was gonna do Jerry, I would be doing original flavor.
Yeah, I was like, we're two sides of the same coin here.
Aren't we?
I feel like I would be more likely to go with original Peter Vincent, but I could go with either one. Be happy.
Yeah, I think I would also specifically do a original Evil Ed. I think doing remake Evil Ed is too close to my actual life that I wouldn't even really be doing anything here. Whereas like Evil in the original movie is like cackling and like really bizarre.
Very weird.
And I'm like, that's very fun.
I have to say, Helena, please take this with love. If we were gonna do another remake of this, you would make a really good Charlie.
Oh, thank you.
That would be really fucking good.
I would happily play Charlie. He starts to annoy me at some point in the original, but I gotta hand it to him. He's really determined. I like him. That's the thing too, is like I do like him more in the remake because I just love Anton Yelchin so much.
Agreed. And it doesn't help that like
pour one out for Anton Yelchin. What a loss.
Yeah. It doesn't help that in the original one he starts getting like real, like, and I don't want to say nasty, but like real, like I'm gonna go nuts about the vampire thing. Yeah. And 2, he's the teen boy trope of I'm pushing my girlfriend to have sex.
Yeah, which like,
I never
just
really loved.
There's a point when they do the vampire test, or like they bring Peter Vincent to come to the vampire test. I'm just like, oh, the vampire test, and Charlie is just being so annoying about it that I'm just like, even though I know obviously that Jerry is a vampire, I'm just like, God, leave. Like, get out of this man's house. You're so annoying.
You gotta play it cool.
Like,
Charlie, you gotta play it cool. But also,
exactly.
He's a teen boy.
Like,
so,
you've been outplayed. Know when to concede the field.
Teens are kind of dumb. I don't know.
I mean, I do like that he thinks, like, I'm gonna call the police, which doesn't work. And in the original,
that is very funny.
In the remake, they're just kind of like, oh no, he does call the police on him in the remake, but it's less of a thing. But it's just kind of like,
because here's a woman screaming.
Yeah,
here's
exactly.
a woman screaming, and he calls the cops, and that's like reasonable.
Yeah.
And the second like he does that, and the cops just leave. He's like, he doesn't try it again.
He's like, no, that's not going to work. What am I going to tell him? You know. In the original, he's like, I saw him carry something into the back seat of his truck, and it's like, it was like a dead body, and they're like, where's the dead body? And Billy Cole's being an asshole. So it doesn't quite work. I do want to say too before we go, Charlie and Jerry has 64 fics on Archive. So don't know what's going on there.
Okay. I mean, I know exactly what's going on.
I get it, and I get it, but like, okay, Jerry and Peter only have 22.
Necessarily need to go there.
Exactly.
Well,
yeah, I know. Charlie and Peter have 48.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
This doesn't shock me at all.
Absolutely not. Donna Noble and Peter Vincent have 13. So there's that.
That's very funny.
Just
what a world.
Putting that out there. There's some other stuff in here too. I'm seeing some stuff that I don't recognize.
I love when we have to do.
This is all
remake,
this
sort
of. This is all the remake. There's a lot of crossover with Twilight and the Underworld
of
movies.
Course.
And
fair.
And the Fantastic Beasts movies, because Colin Farrell is in that movie, so I guess that makes sense to people. I was like, who is this character?
I am the kind of person who always excludes crossovers when I search stuff on AO3, so I never get to see it.
Sometimes I have I don't want to read them, but sometimes I have sort of like a perverse interest in how weird they can get.
Sometimes you have to be careful, I find, because...
If I'm looking just for kicks.
If you're looking for something in Star Trek or in Sherlock Holmes, sometimes I do have to be careful because it'll exclude stuff that's like, this is a fic within both of these universes and interpretations of these characters.
There's multiple iterations of this fandom.
Exactly. I don't want to exclude stuff coming from Deep Space Nine into the original series fandom. You know what I mean? But in this case, I'm not really interested in reading any Fantastic Beasts crossovers.
This has been Archive of Our Own talk with the gang.
Always got to check.
A segment that we do on this podcast periodically, which I always think is very fun.
Once in a while.
Yeah. So anyway, Remake Rumble, we all agree, original wins.
Fright Night 1985, rather.
1985.
Fright Night 1985, come to the podium, accept the belt.
Yep.
You get belts for wrestling, right?
Depending.
Okay.
Possibly.
But also, if you want to have a good time, you could also watch the remake and
definitely
not be mad about it.
It's not like you shouldn't watch the remake, whereas with the first time we did this, it was like, do not bother watching the remake of Assault on Precinct 13. Unless, there are circumstances under which you could, and, I love Ethan Hawke, and I still was like, that was kind of a waste of time.
Yeah. It's like the Mag 7 thing, again, the Ethan Hawke problem. I haven't watched the Magnificent 7 remake, but I did see gift sets of him in that the other day, and I was like, wow.
He's so good in it, and the rest of that movie sucks such shit.
He looks...
Actually, not all of it. It's mostly just that fucking Chris Pratt is in it. Which automatically, brings down the property values.
No, I saw a gift set of Ethan Hawke in that movie, and I was like, he looks like he smells so bad, and he is so hot in this. I can't deal with it.
I don't know how I'm expected to handle this.
Old man.
First, I just had to double check. I was like, am I thinking of somebody? I'm thinking of the wrong person in 310 to Yuma, because the 310 to Yuma that I've seen is the remake.
Right.
And I was like, is it Ethan Hawke or is it somebody else? And I was just double checking, and it's Christian Bale. I don't know how I made that mistake.
Chris Bale. I mean, they got a similar beard going on in that.
Yeah. They do have a similar facial hair situation happening.
I also forgot that Alan Tudyk is in that fucking movie.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, he fucking is.
Of course.
I haven't seen that movie since it came
Logan
out.
Lerman is fucking amazing in that movie.
Yeah,
of course.
I was gonna say we should do the next Remake Rumble. We should.
That's a good one. 310 to Yuma. I'd be into that.
Yeah. We need to do it for 310 to Yuma.
I haven't seen the original, and I want to.
310 to Yuma and for The Thing, because which could be one of our triple features.
There's 3 The Things.
Yes.
Oh God. Second. Now I.
Okay.
Yeah. No.
It's gone.
It's okay.
Anything
now I'm just
else?
thinking. I'm just mad again because a while back I was like, fuck, I'm really pissed off that I want to rewatch the goddamn Magnificent 7 remake because I love Ethan Hawke so much.
Did you like that?
And then I was like, don't do that.
It's a disease.
The devil's not real, but that's the devil talking.
Yeah.
Anyway,
man.
Yeah,
you want to take us out of here, Z?
Let's sign out so I can go beat my head against my insane sewing project some more.
Oh, Godspeed.
Thanks for hanging out with us here on Sneople at the Movies from the Infinity Break Network. Check out infinitybreak.net for more awesome content, and come chat with us on the Infinity Break Discord. You can find it at bit.ly/I Infinity T Talks. You can also shoot us an email at sneopleatthemovies@gmail.com. If you've got a subject you want to hear us talk about, a movie you think we absolutely need to see, or want to share your list of favorite vampire movies. Our Oscar-worthy music was done by Johnny Ronaldo, who you can find at Johnny Ronaldo on Twitter, and our glorious Technicolor logo was designed by Bethany Luthold. Check her out at bethanyluthold.wixsite.com. If you enjoyed listening, please leave us a review on iTunes and share the show with your friends, your enemies, and your partners in crime. As always, thank you for listening, and we'll see you at the movies.